comments to access@telus.net. We are not Shaw.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Access. I'm Sid Tan and you are watching volunteer-produced community television, shamelessly promoting our friends and neighbors. And one of our friends, Angela Jung, is here with us. She's our guest host for the day. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Thank you, Sid. I'm so glad to be here. And it sounds like we're going to have a very interesting show. We're going to start off with your interview with Angela Wong. She is a co-creator and writer of Riverview High, the musical, and it's going to have its world premiere at the Fringe Fest, so that's very exciting.
And also, I understand you're going to be interviewing Kevin Lee. He's a long-time Chinese Head Tax and Exclusion Act redress activist who has his stories to tell about what had happened to his family, and also to introduce the Chinese Canadian National Council Our Stories project.
And after that, we're going to wrap it up with your interview with Rita Wong. She's a Vancouver-based writer who teaches at Emily Carr University, and she's working on a project about H2O, and she's going to tell us how this led her to Fort McMurray and the Healing Walk. Now, we'll be back with more Access TV after the break.
Hello and welcome to Access, community volunteer-produced television, shamelessly promoting our friends and neighbors. And we have one of our friends with us today, Angela Wong. Welcome to the show, Angela.
Thanks for having me, Sid.
Angela is the co-creator and
book writer?
Book writer,
Yes.
That's what it is. Book writer for Riverview High, the musical, which will be coming at the Fringe Festival coming up.
Yes, it is.
Tell us a little bit about Riverview High.
So the basic premise of Riverview High, the musical, is a love triangle. So it revolves around a teenager, a redheaded teenager named Alex, and he accidentally asks both his girlfriends to prom. His girlfriends, Kathy, the sweet and lovable blonde, and Erica, the sassy and sophisticated brunette, find out at prom that, again, he's kind of cheated on them. So they demand once and for all that he choose which girl he's going to commit himself to for the rest of his life. And he decides that he's not going to do that till graduation day, just to buy himself some time. So the show is actually a cast of 16, so it's really an ensemble piece. Although it centers around this love triangle, we also have these subplots of Erica and Kathy both having suitors of their own, Randy and Dexter, who are also vying for their affections. Alex enlists the help of his best friend, who actually hates girls because he has his own suitor, or suitress, I guess, but she's madly in love with him and he doesn't want anything to do with girls. And so the story is really about exploring that kind of excitement when you're at the brink of adulthood, when you're almost about to graduate and you feel like the world's at your fingertips and you have all these decisions you need to make, and it's exciting, but it's also very daunting. And that's really what Riverview High the musical is about.
Well, I have to, when I was looking on the website and I saw stuff, I couldn't help thinking that this brought me a bit to my youth at that time, and especially the Archie comics at the time. And I'm hearing Archie, the red-headed kid,
Yes.
and the two gals, the blonde and the brunette, Veronica and Betty,
Yes.
and this cast of characters. Is there some connection in here?
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest, like, it was sort of inspired by Archie comics. What had happened was Stuart Yu, the co-creator and the composer of the fabulous music that's in our show, he and I have been friends since 9th grade, and we both attended Templeton Secondary High School. And what had happened last year was we had watched this trailer on YouTube, a fan-made trailer that was filmed at our high school about Archie comics. So we started talking about this idea of, oh, what would it be like to take this very basic premise that everyone recognizes it and create this whole story around it and finally make him choose, right? And although it pays homage to Archie comics, of course, we also tied in a lot of the teenage sitcoms that we were exposed to while growing up in the 1990s. So there are a lot of references to Saved by the Bell and Clueless and California Dreams and so forth, because the story is actually set in 1996. Yeah, so yes, there is certain references to Archie comics, but I like to say that the characters are really our own in a way as well, because we really develop them, and they're very quite different from that sort of wholesome, all-American goodness that I guess you always see in Archie comics.
I just want to ask you, how do 2 or 3 people get together? I mean, you developed this musical, and now the world premiere is going to happen in a couple of weeks at the Fringe Festival. Yeah. What got you guys doing this? What was it?
Oh, goodness gracious. I don't even really know how to answer that question, to be quite frank. But Stuart and I, like I said, we've been really good friends since 9th grade, and we always throw ideas around. And Stuart he's super talented. He works at Mobify, so he's also a website developer, and Mobify has been helping us out a lot by giving us rehearsal space, and which also explains why we have such a great website. But yeah, Stuart and I, we would just start talking. We always talk about ideas and projects we will do, but we never quite execute them until now. And so what had happened was we talked about it for a day. We started sketching out the storyline. Then we started putting pen to paper, and it's grown to this. And it's been quite an amazing journey, because we never thought that we would have this type of support and this type of cast and crew, because everyone has just been so resourceful and also so talented. Like our cast of 16, they're all young and local talents. You know, they graduated from Capilano Musical Theater Program, or the theater program in Victoria, or we even have one member who studied at the Boston Conservatory. So it's been quite an amazing journey, but it really just started with us talking about ideas. We started writing, and then writing grew into more writing, and then suddenly we had 6 songs that turned into 12, and now we have 18 original songs in our musical. So I think really we treated it as a pet project, and then we just let it grow, and we let people in. And I think that was really important, because Stuart and I have been really lucky to have a great director, Mike McKenzie, a great choreographer, Don Ewan, who also works at Gateway Theatre, and to be able to share our work with those people and let them in really helped us produce this show. Otherwise, I think if we had just kept it between ourselves, we may still be just writing in Stuart's apartment and coming up with ideas for songs.
From the time you were doing that, just writing and brainstorming in the apartment to where it is now, what is the timeline? And what are some of the things you had to do to get it on stage?
Okay, well, the timeline sort of followed this. We started in April 2011, just started talking about ideas, started writing down a story outline. That grew into attempting to write a few songs. By the end of June 2011, Stuart and I had written about 6 songs, and we were fortunate enough to have some friends who were also musical theater actors to help us perform our songs so we can actually hear what it sounded like. Once they did that, we thought we need to apply to the Fringe, because the Fringe Festival is a fantastic way to showcase new artists like us. And so we applied in September, and by the end of December 2011, our director and also co-lyricist, Mike McKenzie, came on board. And by February 2012, we found out that we were accepted into the Fringe for the Bring Your Own venue at Fire Hall Art Center. And then it started rolling. May and April of this year, we did 6 weeks of workshops of the show, and then we did auditions and we casted, and now we're in the middle of rehearsals. And yesterday was actually really exciting because we did our original cast recording at Hipposonic Studios. So that's where we're at right now. We have 12 days to the show, and everyone's really excited. We have about 5 more rehearsals left, and I think it's just a fantastic show. And yeah,
we're coming close to the end of our interview. People that want to know more about this, they want to go to the show. They just what do the people need to do to see the kind of work that you and your friends have been working on?
People should go to our website at www.riverviewhighthemusical.com. There's links to more information about our show. There's some video logs, and also ticket sales. You can get that at vancouverfringe.com as well. And yeah, it's a very fun, super energetic 90-minute show, and everyone's just fantastic in it.
So, will we get the answer at the end of this? Is it Betty or Veronica?
I can't give that away. You'll have to come and see.
Very, very smart. Yes. Very good move, Angela. So, thank you for coming on the show, Angela, and I would ask people to go to riverviewhighthemusical.com.
Yes.
and get all the information they need about this.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and break a leg on the show.
Oh, thank you so much.